Have you ever stopped to wonder how much power a single word holds? Not the kind of power that simply conveys meaning, but a deeper, almost magical force that shapes your life, your choices, and even your future. Imagine this. A young man sitting at a coffee shop, staring at a blank notebook. His life feels stagnant, weighed down by invisible barriers he can't seem to overcome. A stranger walks by, pauses, and says just 2 words, "Keep going." In that moment, something shifts. Those words, simple yet profound, spark a transformation in the man. Days later, he begins a journey he never thought possible, all because of the impact of 2 seemingly ordinary words. It sounds like fiction, but this kind of phenomenon happens every day, often unnoticed. Now let me ask you, what if I told you that the words you use, those you speak, write, or even think, aren't just tools for communication, but are actively shaping your reality? That they are vibrations carrying a force capable of manifesting or destroying dreams? Here's the truth. Your words are casting spells, whether you realize it or not. Yes, you heard that right. Words are spells, not in some mystical abstract way, but in a very real and tangible sense. Science has started to catch up with what ancient cultures and spiritual traditions have long understood. The language you use rewires your brain, directs your emotions, and determines the opportunities you see or don't see. It's not an exaggeration to say that your words create your world. Take a moment to think about the phrases you repeat to yourself daily. "I'm not good enough. I'll never make it. This is too hard." Each one of those sentences isn't just a fleeting thought. It's a command to your subconscious mind, an instruction manual for your life. And here's the kicker. Most of us don't even realize we're doing it. But what if you could change that? What if you could use words intentionally to break free from limiting beliefs, to unlock doors you thought were permanently sealed, to create the life you've always wanted? It's possible, and in this video, we're going to show you exactly how to do it. Before we dive in, here's a quick favor to ask. If this kind of content resonates with you, if you're ready to take control of your life by harnessing the hidden power of language, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join us, and let's explore this transformative journey together. So, let's start with a simple yet powerful question. Why do we call it spelling when we form words? It's an odd choice, isn't it? But if you look closer, the term carries a profound meaning. To spell a word is to create. It's to bring something into existence, to shape thoughts and give them structure. Every time you arrange letters into words, you're casting a spell. And whether you're aware of it or not, those spells are weaving the fabric of your reality. Think about this. Every major spiritual tradition, from ancient Egypt to Hinduism, has revered the power of the spoken word. The Bible begins with, "And God said, 'Let there be light,' and there was light." Creation itself is framed as an act of speaking. Even in modern science, quantum physicists have found that observation influences reality. Now consider this. What if your words are the observers, shaping the particles of your life into waves of possibility? But here's the problem. Most of us are casting spells of limitation. We're unconsciously weaving cages with phrases like, "I can't," "It's impossible," and "I'm not enough." These aren't harmless words. They're barriers. They're the invisible walls that keep you from reaching your full potential. It's not your fault. Society has programmed us to think and speak in ways that maintain these limitations. From the time you learned to talk, you were taught words that define, categorize, and often restrict you. But here's the good news. Once you recognize this, you have the power to break free. You can rewrite the script. And the best part? You don't need anything external to start this transformation. The magic is already within you. All it takes is awareness, intention, and the courage to speak differently. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to harness the vibrational power of language to reprogram your mind and manifest the reality you desire. So, stay with me. Together, we're going to uncover the secret spells you've been casting and learn how to replace them with words of power and liberation. Because your transformation doesn't start tomorrow, next week, or in some distant future. It starts right now. Are you ready? Let's begin. Language is more than a tool for expression. It is the unseen architect of our reality. From the moment we learn to speak, language shapes how we think, what we believe, and the way we interact with the world around us. The power of words has been acknowledged throughout history, whispered in the halls of ancient civilizations, and studied in the laboratories of modern science. Yet, for most of us, this power remains hidden, veiled behind the mundane rhythm of everyday speech. To truly grasp the significance of language, consider a groundbreaking study conducted in 1974 by cognitive psychologists Elizabeth Loftus and John Palmer. Participants were shown footage of a car accident and then asked different questions. One group was asked, how fast were the cars going when they smashed into each other, while another was asked the same question, but with the verb smashed replaced by hit. The results were startling. Those who heard the word smashed estimated higher speeds and were more likely to recall non-existent broken glass at the scene. A single word altered not just their perception, but their memory. This phenomenon, known as the misinformation effect, is a striking reminder of how language can shape our understanding of reality. But the influence of language goes far beyond experiments. In ancient Egypt, priests believed that words carried divine power. They used specific incantations to heal the sick, bless the harvest, or protect their pharaohs. Similarly, in Hinduism, mantras have been used for millennia as tools to focus the mind and channel spiritual energy. These ancient practices are not relics of superstition. They are precursors to what modern science is beginning to uncover about the vibrational nature of words. In 1999, Japanese researcher Dr. Masaru Emoto conducted a series of experiments that captured the world's attention. He exposed water samples to different words, music, and emotions, then froze the water and photographed the resulting crystals. Positive words like love and gratitude formed intricate, symmetrical patterns, while negative words like hate produced chaotic, fragmented shapes. Though his work has faced skepticism, it opened the door to the idea that words and emotions might influence physical matter, a concept that resonates with the principles of quantum physics. Now think about your own life. How many times have you told yourself, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough? These aren't just passing thoughts, they are self-imposed spells. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections, suggests that repeated phrases can carve pathways in the mind, reinforcing beliefs over time. In other words, the sentences you repeat, whether spoken, aloud, or whispered in your mind, become the blueprint for your actions, your decisions, and ultimately, your reality. The significance of language becomes even more apparent when we look at how it is used to exert control on a societal level. Consider the word contract. At first glance, it's a straightforward term, an agreement between parties. But break it down, and you see something deeper. Con and tract, suggesting a binding force, a restriction. Contracts don't just establish rules, they limit freedom. Similarly, the word government combines govern and ment, literally, meaning to control the mind. These linguistic constructs are not accidental. They are designed to maintain order, often at the cost of personal autonomy. Even the language we use to describe ourselves is laced with hidden implications. Take the word human, split it into hu and man, and you uncover a duality. Hu represents light or spirit, while man denotes the physical form. Yet society rarely acknowledges this spiritual dimension, focusing instead on the material aspects of existence. This reductionist view not only narrows our understanding of what it means to be human, but also limits our potential. To awaken to the power of language is to reclaim control over your narrative. The first step is awareness. Pay attention to the words you use daily. Are they uplifting or limiting? Do they open doors or build walls? For example, instead of saying, I'm stuck, try, I'm finding a new path. This subtle shift transforms a statement of defeat into one of possibility. Language is also a communal force, shaping collective beliefs and behaviors. Headlines, advertisements, and political speeches are crafted with precision to elicit specific emotional responses. Words like crisis or opportunity can sway public opinion, influence decisions, and even determine elections. This is why media and authorities often frame narratives in ways that align with their agendas, subtly guiding the masses toward certain perspectives. But this isn't just about manipulation. It's about understanding how language can be a tool for empowerment. If words can build barriers, they can also tear them down. If they can impose limits, they can also create freedom. The choice is yours. By consciously selecting your words, you can begin to reprogram your mind, align your thoughts with your goals, and take control of your reality. Imagine waking up tomorrow and choosing to speak as if you are the protagonist of your story. Instead of saying, "I'm just getting by," you declare, "I'm thriving." Instead of focusing on what's missing, you express gratitude for what you have. This isn't just positive thinking. It's a deliberate act of creation. As you speak, so you become. In this journey, science and spirituality converge. Quantum physics teaches us that observation influences reality. What we focus on becomes our experience. Language is the tool we use to direct that focus, to collapse the infinite possibilities of the quantum field into tangible outcomes. By choosing words of abundance, love, and growth, you align yourself with higher frequencies, attracting opportunities and experiences that resonate with your intentions. The power of language is not a secret, it's a birthright. It's the ability to shape your world, to transform the invisible into the visible, the potential into the actual. And the best part? This power is already within you, waiting to be unleashed. All it takes is a choice, a decision to speak with intention, to rewrite the spells you've been casting, and to step into the life you were meant to live. So, as you continue watching, let this knowledge sink in. Let it awaken something within you, because the words you choose today will determine the reality you create tomorrow. Your journey has just begun. Have you ever thought about the way words not only communicate but also define, control, and create the very fabric of your reality? Language isn't just a tool for interaction, it is a framework through which we interpret our lives. But beneath its surface lies something far more profound. Language is a system of influence, a subtle architecture of control that guides our thoughts and actions in ways we often fail to see. Let's take a deeper look at how this works. Consider the word spelling. It's a term most of us associate with arranging letters into words. But if you think about it, spelling carries an older, more mystical connotation. To spell is also to cast a spell, to create something with intention and focus. When you spell a word, you are not just expressing a thought, you are giving it shape and power. Language becomes a bridge between the intangible and the tangible, between an idea and its manifestation. This concept has roots in ancient traditions. The Egyptians, for example, believed that words spoken with the right intention could summon divine forces. They called this process hika, which translates loosely to magical utterance. Similarly, in many spiritual practices around the world, mantras and chants are used not just for prayer, but to alter states of consciousness. These practices suggest that language has the capacity to transform both inner and outer realities. Now, let's bring this idea into the modern world. In everyday life, the power of language to influence is often hidden in plain sight. Take the media, for instance. Headlines are crafted to provoke emotional responses, using words that elicit fear, urgency, or hope. Consider how the term global warming was gradually replaced by climate change in public discourse. This shift was not arbitrary. It was designed to soften the emotional impact of the issue. Warming suggests something immediate and alarming, while change feels neutral, almost inevitable. This subtle rephrasing shapes public perception and influences collective behavior. The same principle applies on a personal level. Think about the phrases you use to describe yourself. When you say, "I'm terrible at this," you are not just sharing a momentary feeling, you are solidifying a belief. That belief then shapes your actions, your choices, and even your potential. Contrast that with saying, "I'm learning to improve." One phrase limits, the other empowers. The difference is subtle but transformative. Science backs this up. Research in the field of cognitive linguistics shows that the words we choose influence how we perceive the world. This concept, known as linguistic relativity, suggests that language doesn't just reflect our thoughts, but actively shapes them. A famous example is the way different cultures perceive time. In English, we tend to think of time as linear, with a clear past, present, and future. However, in the Hopi language, time is viewed as a continuum, with less emphasis on rigid divisions. This linguistic framework alters how speakers of each language experience reality itself. But language doesn't just shape our thoughts, it also controls our interactions. Legal and bureaucratic terms are prime examples of this. Words like summons, contract, and obligation carry not just meaning, but power. A summons is not merely a request, it is a command backed by authority. A contract is not simply an agreement, it binds you to specific actions and consequences. The choice of these words is deliberate, designed to reinforce systems of control and compliance. Nowhere is this clearer than in the concept of government. The word itself combines govern, meaning to rule, and ment, derived from the Latin mens, meaning mind. Together, the term can be interpreted as to govern the mind. This etymology hints at the psychological dimension of governance, how language is used to influence public thought and maintain order. Think about terms like national security or freedom. These words evoke specific feelings and ideas, but they are also flexible, allowing those in power to shape their meaning to fit different agendas. Even the language of work carries hidden implications. The word occupation, for instance, can mean a job, but it also implies being occupied, your time, energy, and focus consumed by external demands. This linguistic framing subtly reinforces the idea that work is central to your identity and worth, leaving little room for questioning its role in your life. To understand the full impact of these words, you need to see them for what they are, tools of influence. And while this might sound disempowering, it's actually the opposite. Recognizing these patterns gives you the ability to rewrite them. You are not a passive participant in this system. You are its co-creator. By becoming aware of the language you use and encounter, you can begin to dismantle the limitations it imposes and replace them with narratives of empowerment. For example, instead of saying, "Well, I have to go to work," try saying, "I choose to invest my energy in this task today." The shift may seem small, but it reframes the action as one of agency rather than obligation. Similarly, replace "I can't afford this" with "How can I make this possible?" These subtle adjustments in language don't just change how you speak, they change how you think, opening up new pathways of possibility. This isn't just about individual words, it's about the energy and intention behind them. In quantum physics, there's a concept called observer effect, which suggests that the act of observing changes the behavior of particles. Language works in a similar way. The words you choose are like observations. They collapse infinite possibilities into specific outcomes. When you speak with intention, you are not just describing reality, you are shaping it. Imagine the possibilities if you started using language as a tool for creation rather than limitation. What if every word you spoke carried the energy of abundance, growth, and potential? What if, instead of describing obstacles, you articulated solutions? This isn't just a shift in vocabulary, it's a shift in consciousness. The power of language lies in its ability to define our experiences, to frame our understanding of the world, and to guide our actions. When you speak, you are not just communicating, you are casting a vote for the kind of reality you want to live in. Each word is a choice, a step toward the life you are creating. The question is, what kind of life will you choose to build? Language is not merely a vehicle for communication, it is the foundation of how we perceive, interpret, and interact with the world around us. Yet its most extraordinary potential lies in its ability to shape our emotions and energy. From the words we use to describe ourselves to the phrases we internalize from others, language becomes the lens through which we experience reality. Understanding this dynamic gives us the power to influence not only our internal state but also the energy we project into the world. Take a moment to consider the word emotion. At its core, it means energy in motion. Each emotion we feel is a wave of energy moving through us, shaping our thoughts, decisions, and actions. But have you ever noticed how the words we use can either amplify or diffuse these emotions? Think about a time when you were frustrated and someone said, "Calm down." Rather than easing your frustration, those words likely heightened it. Why? Because the energy behind the words didn't align with the emotion you were experiencing. Now, imagine if that same person had said, "I see you're feeling overwhelmed. Let's take a deep breath together." The energy shifts, and the words validate your feelings rather than dismiss them. This simple example illustrates how language, when chosen with care and intention, can redirect emotional energy, transforming conflict into connection and chaos into clarity. In our daily lives, the words we choose act as seeds, planting emotional and energetic patterns that grow over time. When we repeatedly say things like, "I'm so unlucky," or "This always happens to me," we reinforce those patterns, programming our minds to expect and even attract similar outcomes. This phenomenon isn't just anecdotal, it's grounded in neuroscience. The brain's neural pathways are strengthened by repetition, creating mental shortcuts that influence how we react to situations. In essence, the language you use shapes the emotional framework through which you experience life. One of the most striking examples of this comes from the work of Dr. Barbara Fredrickson, a renowned psychologist whose research focuses on the role of positive emotions. Her broaden and build theory demonstrates that positive language and emotions can expand our awareness, opening us up to new ideas and opportunities. Conversely, negative emotions and words narrow our focus, causing us to fixate on threats and challenges, which limits our ability to see solutions. Consider how this plays out in your interactions with others. When someone says, "You're always late," the accusatory tone and language create defensiveness, shutting down meaningful communication. But if the same concern is expressed with a shift in phrasing, such as, "I noticed you've been running behind. Is there a way I can help?" the energy of the interaction changes. The words invite collaboration rather than conflict, fostering understanding and mutual respect. The impact of language extends beyond interpersonal dynamics to our relationship with ourselves. Many of us are guilty of negative self-talk, phrases like, "I'll never get it right," or "I'm not good enough." These words act as emotional anchors, weighing us down and reinforcing feelings of inadequacy. But when we consciously replace them with affirmations like, "I'm learning and growing every day," we shift the internal narrative, creating space for self-compassion and resilience. Science reinforces the transformative power of this practice. Studies in neuroplasticity reveal that the brain has an incredible capacity to rewire itself in response to new experiences and thoughts. By deliberately choosing positive and empowering language, we can literally reprogram our neural circuits, fostering a more optimistic and confident mindset. This process isn't instantaneous, but with consistency, the changes become profound. Language also holds a unique power in its rhythm and sound. Think about the soothing effect of a lullaby, or the energizing beat of an anthem. Words, when spoken or heard, carry vibrations that influence our emotional and physical states. Ancient cultures understood this intuitively, which is why chanting, prayer, and mantra recitation have been integral to spiritual practices across the globe. These traditions recognize that sound has the ability to harmonize energy, aligning the mind and body with higher frequencies. Even in the modern world, we see the power of sound and rhythm in action. Think about how a single song can lift your spirits, evoke nostalgia, or bring tears to your eyes. This isn't just the music, it's the language within the lyrics, resonating on an emotional level. The same principle applies to the words we speak. When we choose language that resonates with love, gratitude, and possibility, we create a positive, energetic ripple effect, not just within ourselves but in those around us. This ripple effect is particularly evident in leadership and influence. Great leaders understand that their words carry weight, capable of inspiring action or sowing division. Consider the speeches of figures like Martin Luther King Jr. or Nelson Mandela. Their words weren't just powerful because of their content, but because of the energy and intention behind them. They spoke to the highest aspirations of humanity, igniting hope and courage in the hearts of millions. You don't have to be a world leader to harness this power. In your own life, the way you speak to friends, family, and colleagues can have a profound impact. By choosing words that uplift and encourage, you become a source of positive energy, capable of transforming the emotional atmosphere around you. A simple "I believe in you" or "thank you for your effort" can create a ripple effect, inspiring others to carry that same positivity forward. But what about the energy behind the words we hear? Research shows that even the language we are exposed to indirectly, through media, advertisements, or conversations, shapes our emotional landscape. Pay attention to the language you consume. Are the headlines you read filled with fear and scarcity, or do they promote hope and possibility? The energy of these words enters your subconscious, influencing your mood, thoughts, and actions. To reclaim control over your emotional energy, start with awareness. Notice the words you speak, the phrases you repeat, and the messages you internalize. Replace language that drains your energy with words that uplift and empower. This isn't just a practice of positivity. It's a deliberate act of creation, shaping your emotional reality one word at a time. In the end, language is a mirror, reflecting the energy you bring into the world. It is also a tool, capable of transforming that energy into something greater. When you choose words that align with your highest intentions, you create a life filled with meaning, connection, and possibility. Remember, every word you speak carries a vibration. Make it one that elevates, inspires, and empowers, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. Your energy in motion starts now. As we draw this journey to a close, take a moment to reflect on what you've discovered about language and its immense power. Words are far more than fleeting sounds or written symbols. They are the architects of your reality, shaping the way you see the world and your place within it. Every word you speak, every phrase you think, carries with it a ripple of energy that influences not only your life, but the lives of those around you. This power is not something new. It's been with you all along, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be uncovered. Think about this. The way you've spoken to yourself and others up until now has created the life you're living today. The good, the challenging, the beautiful, and the painful, they're all echoes of the words you've chosen, consciously or not. This realization is not meant to instill regret, but to awaken your awareness. Because now you know that with each passing moment, you hold the power to choose differently, to speak words that build, heal, and inspire. Imagine your life as a canvas, and your words as the brushstrokes. Every sentence is a stroke of color, shaping the image of who you are and what you can achieve. The great news is that no matter what the painting looks like today, you are not confined by its current state. With intention and purpose, you can rewrite the story. You can transform your reality, one word at a time. Consider the simplest of changes. Swapping "I can't" for "I'm learning," or replacing "it's too hard" with "I'll find a way." These are not just linguistic tweaks. They are shifts in mindset, openings for possibilities that were once obscured by doubt. And with every change, you send a signal, not just to yourself, but to the universe, that you are ready to step into your full potential. The ripple effect of these choices extends beyond you. The language you use doesn't exist in isolation. It weaves into the lives of everyone you touch. A kind word to a stranger, a heartfelt compliment to a friend, or even a moment of silence when you might have spoken in anger. All of these choices create waves of energy that echo outward, often in ways you'll never fully see. But rest assured, they matter. They shape the fabric of the shared reality we all inhabit. At the heart of this transformation is not just the words themselves, but the intention behind them. Language is, after all, an expression of thought. And as your thoughts align with higher frequencies, gratitude, love, compassion, your words naturally follow. This alignment is the key to unlocking the true power of language, not just as a tool for communication, but as a force for creation. This power has been acknowledged across cultures and disciplines for centuries, from ancient mantras to modern affirmations. But now, with the benefit of science and deeper understanding, we stand on the brink of a new awareness. We know that our words can influence our biology, shift our emotions, and rewire our brains. We understand that language is not just descriptive but transformative. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? In a world filled with noise, social media posts, news headlines, endless chatter, it's easy to forget the impact of your individual voice. But your words matter. They carry weight. They are the threads that weave the story of your life. So why not choose them with care? Why not let each word you speak be a step toward the life you want? The relationships you cherish, the goals you dream of achieving. There's no magic wand, no overnight transformation. But there is a process, a deliberate, conscious practice of becoming aware of your language and aligning it with your values and intentions. It's in the small, consistent choices, pausing before speaking, reframing a negative thought, or simply choosing silence when no words are needed. These moments add up, creating a momentum that can reshape your world. Now, close your eyes for a moment and imagine the future you want to create. Picture it vividly, the people, the places, the feelings. Hear the words you would speak in that future and let them guide you back to the present. Because the journey to that future begins here and now, with the words you choose in this very moment. Your life is not a script handed to you by someone else. It's a living, breathing creation, and you are the author. Each day offers a new page, and each word you write shapes the narrative. Will it be a story of limitation or liberation? Of scarcity or abundance? The choice is, and always has been, yours. As we end this video, let me leave you with this thought. Every word you speak is a seed. Plant them wisely. Speak with intention. Choose words that nurture, uplift, and empower. Because the world you create with your language is the world you will inhabit. You are not just a speaker, you are a creator. And your words, like ripples on a still pond, have the power to reach far beyond what you can see.